ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our middle school, high school concert. So the group that you're hearing right now is the Vivace Orchestra. I changed the names of the orchestras at the middle school because we have 3 grade levels in the middle school, but 2 orchestras. So we have all the 8th graders that are involved in the orchestra, plus a couple of 7th graders that auditioned out to kind of fill out the ensemble. You'll notice this group is a little bit small. This is about the size of the groups were whenever I first took over the program, 8 years ago, 7 or 8 years ago. And these are the survivors from COVID. So these kids, at least the 8th graders in particular, they had a concert in 4th grade, and then they started their 5th grade year, and then that was it. They didn't play a concert again until 7th grade. So there are a lot of kids that, imagine telling kids, hey, you're gonna play a sport, we're gonna have practice for 2.5 years, and then we'll have a game. How many kids would still be in the sport? So these are survivors, but one of the great things about this group of individuals is that they're more confident as individual musicians. There's no hiding for any of them. So they're playing out, they're playing confidently, and they're doing a very fine job. So that first piece you heard was called Gauntlet. We've run the gauntlet of playing the first piece, which is always, got to get our bearings, and they did an awesome job. We're going to move on to the next piece called Swords of Evolution. I do want to point out, we do have a couple of high school students. We have Abby and Maggie helping out our 2 7th grade cellists who are awesome on their own, but I figure we'll balance out the numbers a little bit more. We also have Ann and Abby in the viola section helping to support our 2 violists who are also, well, one's in 8th grade and one's in 7th grade, but so if those kids look a little bit larger, that's why. Perfect, the size perfect. I'm just going to put that on the microphone. Enjoy Swords of Evolution. to have a middle school orchestra play a beautiful lyrical piece like that, that's a little bit of a gamble, but not with this group. They did a wonderful job. Don't you agree? Sounded lovely, beautiful. Absolutely. And it's another thing to put out a piece of music where people may have heard before, because you can certainly say, that sounds familiar, but not quite right. But that definitely sounded just right. And we're going to play another piece of music that's part of the legit orchestral repertoire. It's a snippet. It's an excerpt from Aida. So we're going to play the Triumphal March from Aida, written by Giuseppe Verdi. It's an arrangement, but a lot of different key changes through here, a lot of different rhythmic challenges from it, but they do a wonderful job with this as well. So please enjoy Triumphal March from Aida. And the last piece we're going to play for you with the Vivace Orchestra is a piece of music called Path to the Pacific. This one also cycles through quite a few keys, and there's a lot of rhythmic challenges in this as well. And really appreciate you being a wonderful audience and appreciating the work that they did. I can tell by your applause that we're not just going through the motions. You definitely can hear and appreciate the hard work that these wonderful kids have done. So please enjoy Path to the Pacific. And as we're kind of switching around our seating here, I'm inviting up to the front of the stage Miss Ann Chang, one of our wonderful musicians. She's actually progressed through districts. Yeah. Districts, regions, all state, and she's one of 2 students that I know of, going back quite a ways to reach all East Orchestra. So she went up this fall to Rochester, New York to participate in all East Orchestra. And she's going to share another wonderful thing that she's done.
Hello, my name is Ann Chang. I'm a current senior. And tonight I just wanted to talk about a summer program that I decided to reboot since the pandemic. So throughout my musical career, I've always had a good support system, whether that's teachers like Mr. McGuff or my private teacher, but also old mentors who were previously sitting here on stage. And this program was actually started by Juliet Langley and Kaylee Petro a few years back. But since the pandemic happened, it shut down. So this summer, before I head off to college, I thought I would restart the program. It's called Music Mentors, and basically we teach students from entering 5th grade to entering 8th grade, and we kind of get them playing in an ensemble, playing with people with the same instrument, and also playing individually, which is a huge help to building a musical career. So I know this only applies to like several 7th graders right now, but if anyone has younger siblings that would also like to participate, it's free of cost, and I have several high school helpers who are also helping out. So it'd be nice if people could sign up and get their students to continue playing in the summer. Thank you.
together, we might as well just pack up and go home after that. That's pretty good, huh? All right, so that first piece of music was called, it's not a typo, it is Arcopolis. The only people that like to make puns more than dads are people who are in string music. Arco is the technique of playing with your bow versus pizzicato, or you're plucking. A lot of different techniques of making sounds with these instruments. But yeah, Arco, whatever. They put Arco instead of Acropolis. Anyways, the next piece of music we're going to play is an arrangement of Jupiter from Pulse the Planet. If you know the piece of music at all, or if you know it well, this arrangement's a little bit jarring, to be honest with you. It just kind of throws in two random measures and like jumps to the next section. So it's kind of a hyper-compressed, abridged arrangement, but it certainly touches on some of the most beautiful themes in Pulse's wonderful movement, Jupiter from the Planets. Please enjoy. recognize that tune? Yeah? No? Maybe? Oh. Stargazer. Nice, I like it. Well, this next piece of music you're not going to recognize. This piece of music is called Lyric Metal. It was a piece of music that was commissioned by a high school over in the eastern part of the state to memorialize a cellist who passed away, a high school cellist who passed away tragically while he was in high school. And he loved the music of this particular composer, and the school reached out and had this work commissioned. It's a very powerful piece of music. It's a little bit intense. The student really loved, there's a couple of different kind of hard rock type cello groups, like Cello Fury is one that's local, but there's a bunch of other ones out there. But it's a special kind of music, so this should be a completely different feel than, say, Jupiter, Bringer of Jollity. This is definitely a heavier, beautiful piece of music, though, so please enjoy it. Lyric Metal. You like that one? That was pretty powerful. So in orchestra class, it is a class, but it's a unique class. Kids get a chance to really express themselves. Sometimes it can be hard to express themselves in any way, possibly at 7:30 in the morning. However, this is a really good class to have in the morning. It gets you going. So it's been such a pleasure to be in front of all of these wonderful kids over all the years, and to get to make music with them. It's really special. You feel their energy and their themselves. I asked them to put themselves into the music, and they definitely did on that one. It's a beautiful job. Nice job. All right, we're going to shift gears completely. Let's go to Disney, and we're going to play Brave, the music from Brave. So I know every red-haired girl's favorite movie. You have no option. Is this music from Brave. It actually is a lovely piece of music, a lot of different styles, different meters, different keys, and we'll feature several soloists in this piece, and I'll introduce those folks right after this piece and before we play the last one. So please enjoy music from Disney's. It is Disney, isn't it? Yeah. Thanks. Pixar, at some point, Thank you. promised to introduce our soloists. So starting on this side of the orchestra, on our first day of violins, we have Mr. Jonathan Lynn, who had one of the opening solos there. Miss Avery Ridings joined in the middle. Miss Ann Chang, who we already met. We got to hear her wonderful talk. Also our concert mistress. And last but not least, Miss Maggie Steck, who also made it to PMEA All-States. So she competed, like I said, through districts, regions, and All-States, and she played wonderfully in a concert with students from all over the state, and she fit right in with her skills. So I hope you enjoyed Brave. The last piece of music we're going to play is the most difficult piece of music that we have tonight. So there were only 5 pieces on the concert, but we went after pieces that had a lot of meat on the bone. This piece called Incantations is very technical in terms of rhythm. Again, we're cycling through keys, a lot of different time signatures, so all these things kind of move around. It's not very cut and dry. You'll see the kids are working very, very hard, so hopefully you enjoy Incantations. Okay, so at this point in our springtime concert, I always hand the microphone over to the seniors so they can share as little or as much as they'd like, share some wisdom with some of the students. I see some of our current middle school students out in the audience. We have some future high school kids. We have kids that are in high school have 1, 2, 3 years in front of them. So I've had the amazing privilege of teaching these seniors for the 9 years in a row, a lot of them. So my first year teaching any strings was, Miss DeFelice and Mr. Lang were still here. I taught 45 of the 4th graders, and some of those 4th graders are now here on stage as seniors. The following year I took over the whole program. So to work with students for 9 years, it's unique. I don't know that it happens really in any other position. And what a privilege it is, what an honor it is to work with the families, these wonderful people. So I want to give them a chance to just share as much or as little as they'd like to. So seniors, come on up here. Line up. It's like a phys ed teacher. Line up. And then we have a special treat for them, thanks to Mrs. Allison, who collected some photographs, and we're going to serenade the seniors. So the next year's high school orchestra will play for this year's seniors. So we'll start. It wasn't such a big deal whenever there were like 8 seniors. I think there were literally 3 seniors my first year, and now we have 17. So it's not a bad problem, right? David.
Hi, I'm David. I'm going to RIT next year, and I will study computer science. I think if I've learned anything from participating in orchestra, it's that it's not quite about how good you are at what you're doing, but rather how much you're improving as you go along with it. And I think in the end, it's the payoff and the experience that really matters. And I think I'll hopefully have Mr. McGuff to thank for that.
Hi, I'm Layla Landis, and I'm going to IUP for nursing. And I want to thank all of my wonderful peers for making this happen and creating music with me. And one thing I learned about orchestra was that it really feels good in the end to put your all into it and work hard to have the ending sound really good. So thank you for all of you.
Hi, my name is Teddy Allison, and I'm going to Notre Dame next year for mathematics. And I would just like to pass a message along to all the students that are gathered here today. Despite Mr. McGuff's being a trumpet player and generally goofy presence, he really does know what he's doing, which is something that I've learned as I've grown as a player. But I remember in, I think it was either 7th or 8th grade, he wasn't there for one day, which obviously impacted like 100 students. But we ourselves tried to conduct. A couple people tried to get up and like run some of the pieces. It did not work at all. And it really showcased to me how much it takes to be the head of an orchestra, or as many orchestras as Mr. McGuff was in charge of. So shout out to Mr. McGuff.
Hi, my name is Ann Chang. I will be attending Brown University next fall for neuroscience and public health. I think for the past 14 years, music has been a really good safe space for me to both express myself and to meet a lot of cool people here, not only in the school, but in the city, the state, and even the country. And to have the privilege to play an instrument is really special, and I hope everyone realizes that, and you guys are really amazing for choosing to play and commit to music. So thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Rachel Hardy. I am going to University of Washington, Seattle for mechanical engineering next year. I would like to thank Mr. McGuff specifically for putting these speeches before the video that's going to play. So we're going to end up doing sort of a piece honoring the seniors and then a kind of video of remembrance. And I didn't actually think that I'd get super emotional in it, and I was running it beforehand, and I was just kind of tearing up in the back actually watching it. But it's crazy how much of a difference the orchestra has kind of made on my life and the impact that these people have had. And I mean, we've all kind of grown up together, so just watching that was kind of a big eye-opener. But I just want everyone to know that it is a super big impact whether you think it is or not, and I love being here. So thank you.
I'm Avery Ridings. I'm going to WVU for music business, like a true WVU student. And orchestra is just about the one thing I actually stuck with in high school, which is funny because I joined on accident in the 8th grade. I don't know. That's all. I didn't plan a speech, but I was born to improv.
And I will be studying media arts and communications at Bethany College in West Virginia. So I will be going from a violin player to a fiddle player there. So that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah. And if I had to say one thing about orchestra, is that there's such a diverse group of kids up here, and we are working every single day on our music, and that's something you really don't get in every class, is working every day. But there's a reason why we've all been going, taking orchestra classes for 9 years, and we thank Mr. McGuff for that. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Lin, and I'm going to Penn State for meteorology, so you may see me on TV in the future as a weatherman. I got paid to do it wrong, so. But I'd like to just say thank you to Mr. McGuff and my own private teacher for teaching me music and giving me something different than just the academics and a sport. I really do appreciate that, and I also just want to say thank you to my parents for supporting me all this way, and everyone else around here as well. It's been a fun journey, and just one thing that I want to say to other castmen, just enjoy your time here. It's going to go by really fast, and it just just make the most out of it. Don't wish it away, because you can't get that time back.
I'm Grace Hankey. I'm going to Mercyhurst University to major in applied forensic sciences and minor in psych. And my advice to 8th graders is to stick with it, because about 4 years ago when I was in the exact same seats, I saw all the seniors walk up to Mr. McGuff in tears because he had such an impact on their lives. And I went home and my dad said, "Grace, that will be you someday." And I said, "Ew, no it will not." And a surprise, 4 years later, that is exactly where I am. So please stick with it.
I will be attending Vanderbilt University for biological science. I just want to say thank you to everyone up here. It's been crazy. We have 9 years together. It doesn't even it's been that long, but it's been so fun, like growing up and learning music with you guys, and advice to the younger kids. Even though sometimes we like to complain about everything, it's fun and it's definitely worth it. And I'm definitely feeling a little emotional right now, even though I said I wouldn't be. And yeah, thank you guys.
I'm Addison. I'll be studying business at Duquesne University. I just wanted to say thank you to Mr. McGuff and everyone for just allowing me to have such an amazing orchestra experience. It was always such a class that I was so excited to attend in the morning. And I'm really going to miss seeing Olivia, my stand partner, every morning for the past couple years.
Hi, my name is Alec Henderson. I'll be attending Gannon University for the Physician's Assistant program. I want to thank my family for all the endless support throughout the years. I wouldn't be here without you guys. I want to thank Mr. McGuff for all the help throughout the years. It's such a wonderful 8 years. And I want to thank all the seniors and everyone else in the orchestra because it's really been such a fun ride together.
I'm Becca. I'm going to be attending Virginia Tech for Information Sciences, and I wanted to encourage people to really appreciate sockness because that was a highlight of my life. Where every year it was really great, and to have good socks because it makes it better. And I want to thank Mr. McGuff for always having questionable jokes at 7:30 in the morning, and I am thankful for the friends I made.
Hi, I'm Serena Zhu, and I'm going to be studying economics next year at NYU. And I just want to say thank you to my parents for forcing me to learn how to play an instrument at such a young age, because no young kid wants to do that and spend their weekends practicing. And I would also like to thank Mr. McGuff for supporting me since 4th grade. And also, I would like to thank my roommates from the Orlando trip last year, because I made some of my best orchestra memories during that trip.
My name is Abby Lynch. I'm going to Carla for art therapy. And God bless Anne because she got me through all 4 years of orchestra. I wouldn't have known how to read the rhythms without her.
We love you, Mrs. Hardy. I'm going to John Carroll University to study psychology with a minor in criminology. And I just wanted to thank my parents for also forcing me into orchestra and not letting me quit, because I tried every year until high school. And Mr. McGuff, we have had you for 9 years, and that's such a rare thing to have a teacher for that long. But he has seen us grow, and sorry, I get emotional. And he has become just such a role model, and I don't know what I would do without him. So thank you for just teaching us how important music is.
Hi, my name is Alan, and I'll be going to Purdue University next year to study computer engineering. And I just want to thank Mr. McGuff and all these seniors here for a great 9 years.
A long line. And yes, I'm goofy, and I questionable jokes means are they funny or not? It doesn't mean is the content appropriate. Just to clarify. But like I said, it's been such an honor, and my goodness, if you for a moment are worried about the future, stop. I'm with the future every single day, and we're in good hands. And there are many Greek meanings of the word love. There's an appropriate word, an appropriate type of love that I have for these kids for sure. For so many years, to work so closely with them, and really, I've watched them grow from wee little lads and lasses into these wonderful young adults that they are. So we have one special treat. We're going to ask the seniors to get out of here and sit with your family or find a comfy spot, sit with a friend, and we're going to perform for you. Wow, good, start walking. I was going to talk over your movement here. Estimated wait time, 90 seconds. So, that's questionable humor if you're wondering. So, I'm going to get Smite. So we're going to serenade these seniors who are headed out. Mrs. Allison sent this with this. First of all, this piece of music by itself, it's so sentimental sounding, and I love it just to listen to it by itself. And then I saw these pictures, and I was like, man, there's a lot of pollen today. And so I'm glad that the screen will be behind me. We won't see it. Seniors, we hope you enjoy. We heart you, and we hope you enjoy this this wonderful piece. And there's somebody back there to play this video, right?
Yeah, you need to take it
We
down.
good? All right, bring it down. This reminds me of that scene from Austin Powers where he was about to get run over by a steamroller. It's like,
I have 3 daughters and a wife at home. I know that.
We got one more, you have to come back. All right. We're going to finish with one final piece of music by Disney. It's called Star Wars. It's not Disney, it's not Disney. Did they buy it? I thought I was making a joke. Another questionable joke. Oh, yikes. Okay, so Star Wars. Everybody knows it, everybody loves it. So this is going to be, again, we're going to have our middle school kids and our high school kids playing one final piece. Thank you so much for being a wonderful audience and for supporting music over the years. And look forward to